Greetings and good time zone. I hope people are doing well today. I need to explore Drezen.
Always watch your back.
Because there's a lot to find. Ooh, Rushale is here. So I do need to talk to her a lot. Also thinking of respecking my main character at some point. And I've added a few mods. Graver's Starting Vein, traitor of the Crusade. What? Hope that's not written on his tombstone. Seal is here. To the barracks. It will let me. Hello. Ilan is here. Okay. Read all the books. Oh, I still need to put that on me. read. I think that's all. Oh, no, it's not even sorted. Which means this could be up here. Yeah, another book. I learned something new. From which book, though? No abilities. +1 insight bonus on perception and stealth checks. Nice. Okay, that goes upstairs.
Shh.
Hello, game. Oh, up here. Nothing to loot up here. So yeah, I'm just going to explore the entire base. Then I need to also talk to my party members. Yeah, I'm thinking of actually changing my main character's class. I'm not entirely liking the alchemist that I have. So I'm thinking of changing it to something like a bard, maybe a skald. I've already been there. Oh, Windwag is all the way down here.
Careful now.
Need to make sure I don't skip anyone that might be out of the ordinary, just in case. It's been a long time since I've played this game. I'm also tempted to rebuild Daeron, because I've seen a really, really fun build for him. When do I greet you with a servile bow? Mistress, how can I serve you? Am I imagining things, or do you find me attractive? If this was me in real life, everyone says no. Wendwag smiles playfully in return. Maybe I do. I like people like you. People who are strong, determined, who don't hide behind others. You're not only attracted to men, then. The warrior casts a sidelong look at you. Men think they are irreplaceable in bed, but you and I understand that two women can give each other pleasure that men couldn't even dream of. Okay. Thank you. You've satisfied my curiosity. You could satisfy more than that, mistress. With a smile full of promise, Wendwag lashes you lightly on the thigh with her tail. Kitty cat.
That's easy.
Okay, that is just to the main entrance. Good. There's nothing hidden there. Some places that I entered before might not be available now. Or maybe
Precisely.
they are. Abandoned building. Loot, you say? Shiny chitin. I just never enter this place during the siege. I usually check it everywhere. More loot. An eyeball. Great. Oh, I know what this is.
Always watch your back.
Yeah, I remember this place. I'm fairly sure. Chronicle of Failure. Story. Making sure that
Shh.
it's fine. Okay. Buff on me. Oh yeah, the commander's banner. Any loot for me? Yes, you say. Ooh, a trapdoor. Oh yeah, this is where I found
Careful now.
initially. This is why we always check everything again.
That's easy.
So they've replaced the wall. Yep. August, one-eyed devil. Oh god. Traveling bard, traveling performance troupe.
Precisely.
Yeah, there's social. Oh, prison.
Always watch your back.
I have anyone in the prison right now? I know I think at one point I had Nura in here in a different playthrough.
Shh.
No, there's literally no one here. There's also no more levers. How do we open the doors? Isn't Horgus around here somewhere? A lot of nobles. There's Horgus. I'm listening, Knight Commander. Are you aware of my special powers? People say a lot of things about you. They say that you can make the burnt soil of the world wound bloom with a single touch, that your very image scares away the demons and makes their strongholds crumble. They also say that you pick your allies from among the rabble because it is your sacred duty to try and redeem them. Perhaps I put it too broadly. Let me explain. People see your power and they also see that you are different from the other, more righteous paladins. You are softer, brighter, a bit frivolous, if I may. They see that you have little respect for rules and restrictions, and that gives them food for various thoughts. The Crusades have never seen a commander like this before. What if not all the changes and people you brought here are for the better? Given these sentiments, I would be very careful if I were you. It is very easy to get carried away with your games and turn the army into a farce. Well, screw you too. It's the end. Half Measure Tavern. Fawn Autumn Haze is still here. Jewelry artisan. Golem. Welcome to the shop of Garrick Sunhammer, the finest jewellery in all of Mendev. True artistry, crafted by the master himself and his apprentices. Take a look. Show me your wares, Golem. Oh my god. Price in descending. So I can buy this to sell this for the same amount. Okay. That's an upgrade of what Dayron has. Lesser phylactery. Yeah. To buy that immediately. I don't know whether to keep that. I can only sell it for 1,000. Essentially 12,000 for one extra D6. I'm not going to bother yet. I need to see what else is available. And if I want to respec my main character. And Darren himself. Okay. He has nothing else
Careful
to add.
now.
Half Measure Tavern. This is probably where... What's his name? Where I can respec. Maybe. Well, there's Greybar, who I do need to talk to. Buy or thief? Yeah, probably Fi, the tavern keeper. The boy sitting on the counter looks about 18. He salutes you with dignity, though his eyes scarcely rise from the tavern's ledger. The Knight Commander at my establishment? What an honour. My name is Fai Kaito, or Kito. I'm the owner of the Half Measure. How should I address you? I ask because some don't like undue familiarity, while others scoff at the tediousness of ceremony and titles. You call me the Armored Armadillo for all I care. You may call me by my name. Yeah. Deal. I know your name, of course. Who in Dresden doesn't? So what can I do for you? Wine, a meal, a heart-to-heart talk? Let's see what you have. These goggles grant the wearer a plus 10 competence bonus on perception checks. Whenever the wearer confirms a critical hit with any bow, the target becomes disorientated for 1d4 rounds, suffering a minus 4 circumstance penalty to initiative checks, attack rolls, athletics, and perception checks. I'm sorry, what? I need them. Just want to have a look at what this does. Ghost touch, yeah. Pretty funny. But yeah, I need that. Kind of wish I'd not. Ooh, mulled wine. Sure, let's buy that. Alright. Copy recipe. You had a lot more stuff to do. How is it that such a young lad owns a tavern? Before the siege of Drezen, the half measure belonged to a distant relative. I won't bore you with the details of how his family died. Just 3 words: demon worshippers, and sacrifice should be enough. Now that the city has been liberated, the authorities and Iomede's church will be returning what remains to the lawful heirs of the deceased. They take these things seriously in Mendev. Why suddenly slaps himself on the forehead. We started talking about the inn, and I remembered I wanted to thank you personally for personally defeating the demon in this very tavern when the city was liberated. Without you, who knows how many glasses he would have smashed before the Crusaders got to him. So please accept my thanks from the bottom of my heart. Any time. Oh my god, I'm glad I did that kill. The half measure is a strange name for a tavern. Oh, that's a family story. It's not for the faint-hearted, but you're not one of those, are you? One day before the wardstones were erected, a peasant family got lost on the way to the fair and ended up near the borders of the Worldwound. They stumbled upon a bored demon who killed the father right away. He then asked the mother if she'd prefer him to take all her children or only half of them. The sobbing woman looked at her 3 darlings and said, half. The demon promptly cut the arms and legs off all the 3 children, said, I guess that's even, and disappeared. People across Drezen heard this story after the family found shelter at the local temple of Iomide. For many years they saved up for a regeneration spell so that the children could be made whole again. They eventually scraped together enough for just 1 scroll and decided to give the youngest child a second chance at life. He soon became the tavern's first owner and called it the Half Measure in memory of his family and the terrible incident with the demon. He had a good life for a time, got himself married and always planned to help his brother and sister, though he never got a proper chance. When the demons had Drezen surrounded, the poor cripples tried to run for their lives, but they died on the spot. The brother and his wife died a little later at the hands of deserters. There were rumours that the same demon that butchered the family came to Drezen and made a den of the half measure. If that's true, I guess he got what he deserved when you freed the city. That's the story. Fi shrugs pensively. Why do you like sitting on the counter? 2 reasons, Fi says seriously. Drezen isn't the biggest city, but it still has a few taverns and pubs. To compete with the others, I need people to remember my establishment, and myself. That's the first reason. A tavern keeper who sits on the counter definitely sticks out from the others who prefer to stand behind their bars, all dignified. Believe me, you're not the first one to ask. Sooner or later, every customer does. The second reason is the place's atmosphere. People should feel relaxed here. Life near the Worldwound is hard enough. Folks don't go to taverns looking to cause each other more trouble, so I allow certain liberties, myself included. I'm even thinking of hosting an invigorating brawl here on the 5th of every month. I'll let my favourite customers break glasses and swing on the chandelier. What's the feeling here in the city? I need a drink. Okay, there we go. I can only tell you about my customers. They're mostly working folks, the ones who are rebuilding what's been destroyed, along with soldiers and some merchants. Overall, spirits are high as they can be in Mendev. Nation of rattling sabres and fluttering banners. Everyone loves it when the demons get their horns, tails, and other parts handed to them. They've already forgotten that we nearly lost Canabras. War is like that. People live for one day, and that day is tomorrow, not yesterday. You've been a source of joy and inspiration for everyone as well. Just a simple girl, an ordinary human, not an elf with the wisdom of the ages, not an Asimar blessed by heaven, and yet you defeated the demons and thumbed your nose at the Queen's knights. That's the kind of story people love. Good to hear that I'm a source of hope and inspiration. You know what my mother used to say back when she was alive? Little smiles grow into big victories. Let's drink to that. Another round on the house. Got mead. What do your customers say about my new powers? The fact that I have butterflies flying around me. Spectral ones at that, almost. They talk about you so much that you could fill a hefty tome with theories about your birth alone. You may be the new herald of Desna, or perhaps her daughter. You were born from a beautiful flower, or you fell to Galarian with the falling stars of Numeria. The earth blossoms under your feet, and water turns to ale. Incidentally, if this last one is true, please don't perform that miracle too often, or you'll drive down my prices. Forgive me, but your little dragon has caused a stir among the townsfolk. She pokes her nose in everywhere. I recently found her in a pickle barrel, and she scolds me for keeping yucky things in the basement instead of goodies. But I don't mind. Small and relatively harmless dragons do attract customers, and they cause a not excessive amount of damage. I have to go. So long. Come again, you'll always be welcome here. Okay, Greybow.
How can I help you?
For the third time.
Don't you remember our last meeting? The name is Greybor. I'm an assassin for hire. But I suspect you're not here for small talk. Are you in need of my services?
We already met in Canabras, didn't we?
Yes, I had a contract to assassinate a rather overconfident demon named Kylus there. I guess that counts as participation in the siege of Canabras. Not that my employer had any interest in the actual outcome of the battle. Come to think of it, the information my client provided me with was almost suspiciously accurate. They seemed to be aware both of the impending attack on Canabras and of the fact that Kylus was going to be there.
You tried to kill that huge demon at the Battle of Drezen, but you failed. What happened?
Yes, that was a failure. It was supposed to be a clean job. An anonymous client, a worthy target, a substantial fee. But the client insisted that I use an enchanted dagger they provided. I was assured that a single hit would be enough to finish the job, but it didn't work as expected. It was a serious blow to my reputation. And my reputation is everything to me.
Mr. Business, I want to hire you for a dragon hunt.
A large adult female? The one that's been snatching people and carrying them off? I've heard about her. That's an impressive target. I can take this job, but only if we do it soon. I'm expecting a new assignment from my regular client, and I'll have to leave as soon as I have the orders. And of course, you should know that this dragon will not come cheaply. 2,500 gold, paid in advance.
Sure.
Excellent. Let's get down to business. It's no easy thing to take down a dragon when you don't have wings, so you'll need to follow my lead. The best thing would be to catch her by surprise in her lair, but we need to find it first. Of course, since she doesn't leave tracks, that might be tricky, but I think I have a solution. We need to go west of Drezen, to the Grimwood Forest. The dragon's been seen there often. According to the scouts, this is likely because there's still some wild game left in those parts. We'll set up an ambush there. I hope I can rely on your honesty. I understand that on our way to the dragon, there may be other fights or places we need to visit for various reasons. That's to be expected. However, should I see that you are deliberately delaying the contract, or that you're dragging me off to assault some demon citadel instead of going after the dragon, we will have to revise the terms of our agreement.
Fine, I really don't want to use you anyway. Do want a rogue back in my party though, and I wish Woljif was still here. I think I'm gonna keep. I think I'm not gonna take Camellia in the party, even though she has some really good buffs. But I think I'm gonna fix that when I respec. Another inn? 2 inns? Are we doing a wobble? Crusade Chronicles. Oh, no. I learned something from the book, so I can't just read it from here, unfortunately. What did I learn from it? What is Crusade Chronicles? 10 hit points. That's one hell of a book. Ooh. Elemental Essence. Loot. Ooh. Yeah.
That's easy.
It's good to know that I need to read from the inventory. I think I remember this part. Don't they talk about stuff? Perception. DC 23.
Precisely.
Oh, here's Hilor. Oh, Nenio's in here. Good. One old Kelly told me this, my brothers, and me on his deathbed, and then he died, and no one knows but us. I know this is their sacred forest. They prayed in the meadow of the spirits. Shamanic relics, you say? A big treasure? Sounds like a lie. Everything was collected, carried away, and buried in that cave. The scouts say a bear lives in those forests, a terrible one. There must be magic guards in the cave. That's why we suggest you come with us. We'll split the treasure equally. No, you won't. No more checks. And nothing added to my map, I don't think. Okay. Quick save. I'm glad that she passed the check. He only just passed the check. I'm glad it used the Ruchulator, not me. My companions and I need good training. Do I? Hmm. If the wearer of this hat uses any song, this song also grants fast healing ward. Oh! Does it grant it to everybody? Creature with the fast healing special ability regains hit points at an exceptional rate, usually 1 or more hit points per round. Fast healing continues to function even if the creature is unconscious until it dies. Oh man. I think I might respec. Respec. Goes all the way back to the very beginning. Let me change my character portrait as well. Still going to be a human. Totally be a skald. Sure if healing or killing. I think I'm just gonna keep this picture because cat. Details. So there's a skald. They're basically bards, but skald gains experience. He learns a number of talents. Oh, he gets. Ah, cool. Martial weapons proficiency and medium armor. Okay. At first level, affected allies gain +1 bonus to melee attacks and damage rolls and +1 bonus on will saving throws, but also take a -1 penalty to AC. While under the effects of Inspired Rage, allies other than the Scald cannot use any ability that requires patience or concentration. Fourth level, so can't cast spells? Or maybe even use abilities. The thing is with this is their song, Inspired Rage, instead of Bardic Inspiration. Get a bonus feat. And I can craft scrolls instead of potions. Third level, and every 3 levels thereafter, a Skald learns a rage power that affects the Skald and any allies under the influence of his inspired rage. If a rage power requires another rage power, such as Disruptive, which requires superstition, the Skald cannot grant that rage power to allies, unless he can also grant that power's prerequisite. You may add multiple rage powers to an inspired rage at the same time using this ability, such as granting superstition and disruptive simultaneously. So all my rage powers I add with one single use of the song. If a rage power can only be used a certain number of times per day or per rage, such as renewed vigor, each ally affected by the inspired rage song is subject to that limit, with once per rage abilities limited to once per inspired rage. If the Skald has rage powers from another source, he can use those rage powers during an inspired rage. If the Skald has the ability to rage from another source, he can use his Skald rage powers during that rage as well. So I can grant people a bite attack. Okay. AC bonus. The Barbarian gains the Pounce special ability, allowing her to make a full attack at the end of a charge. In addition, the damage from her claws... Okay, don't have claws. Barbarian who selects a Beast Totem Rage power cannot later choose to gain any of the Dragon Totem Rage powers. Okay. Oh, while raging, the Barbarian gains 2 claw attacks. These attacks are considered primary attacks and are made at the Barbarian's full base attack bonus. If I took these two, do I get 2 claws and a bite? I wouldn't be able to take Celestial. You can get spell resistance. Demon Totem. Pose a temporary negative level on her opponent on a successful critical hit. After one, okay. Bean Totem. Another thing I wanted to check. No. Maybe I don't have it. Maybe it's part of the DLC. Yeah, that might be a DLC thing. Okay. Lethal accuracy. Okay, crit multiplier is good. Deadly accuracy. If the barbarian scores a critical threat while in the lethal stance, she applies double the lethal stance's bonus when rolling to confirm the critical. Okay. A lethal stance. Baron can focus her strikes. She gains a +1 competence bonus on melee attack rolls and thrown weapon attack rolls. This bonus increases by 1 for every 4 levels the barbarian has. Yeah, that's pretty good. He's reckless. Yeah, I don't want to lose AC. Barbarian's damage reduction increases by 2. Yeah. Check the build that I found before real quick. Regression is weird. Let's have a look at that one. Don't want to do trickster though. I'm going to turn myself into a two-handed fighter as well. It's the difference. Oh, you lose rage powers and you get battle prowess. Oh, she could instead get a teamwork feat. Okay. I think, actually. Yeah, I'm going to not do this now. I'm going to do that off stream. I'm going to respec everyone. Oh, not everyone. Most people. Because this is just going to take way too long. Okay. Talk to everyone. Social here. Oh, and didn't talk to One-Eyed Devil. I think One-Eyed Devil is sort of the replacement for Woljif while he's not here. Not as a party member, but as a star. A short, chubby tiefling with a golden eye patch sits chewing tobacco between his feet. He takes another pinch from... Oh. Spits chewing tobacco between his feet and takes another pinch from a tobacco box adorned with jewels. Fine day to you, Commander. Welcome to the One-Eyed Devil's trading house. His proud manner suggests that each word begins with a capital letter and perhaps even continues in capital letters as well. So, Lafair. Price descending. Ooh. Stealth checks. Okay, that's 1-4. Muramaki. For either Woljif or I think Aruchale. She have armor dispersion. Oh yeah. Funnily enough, I think these give the same armor class to Aruchale. Maybe one less because of her dex. I think it's not 22 just yet. Okay. A fine day to you, Commander. After greeting you loudly, the tiefling looks around cautiously and continues in a whisper. Tell me, is it true that Iomade herself made you her chosen one? I ask because there are rumours in the army, and I've been offered a tidy sum to procure a few of your nail clippings. Some believe they heal all disease. It's up to you, of course, but if you want to make some money, what do you say? Trading house? It's just a shop. Ah, that depends. There was a time when I had nothing in my pockets but holes. But did I consider myself poor? No. I considered myself a rich man who was temporarily down on his luck. Optimism is important not only on the battlefield, Commander. You are the leader of a victorious army that will be chopping all the demons into mincemeat sooner or later. I am the owner of a trade empire, which, as you see, is only starting to grow. How did a tiefling end up on the side of the Crusaders? The answer is simple. The simplest thing there is. This is a good world, and I like living in it. Besides, it's the only one we've got. I'd love to know what's going on in the heads of the dimwits who are helping the demons destroy it. My best guess is that their horns grow inward, so there's no room for brains. I'm from Cheliax. Tieflings don't surprise anyone there. And they don't like demons any more than we do here. And why should they? The gods went to all the trouble of creating this world. Even Lord Asmodeus and his devils helped with the construction. And now these freeloaders show up after all the hard work is done just to gorge and break things. It doesn't matter who you pray to. If you want to live, it's your duty to help. Isn't that a risky name for a store for Crusaders? Ah, yes, a week doesn't go by without some dimwit boiling over. Well, they don't pay me to explain the difference between their allies and enemies, devils and demons, Lord Asmodeus and all the riffraff like Baphomet and Discari. So they can go hang. The tiefling spits between his feet and swiftly places another pinch of chewing tobacco in his mouth. Here's what I think. You like it, you buy it. You don't like it, keep moving. If you're spoiling for a fight, take yourself off to the tavern. Why are your prices so high? We're saving the world from demons, and that includes you. That's some claim. Did you hear that, good people? First of all, my prices are perfectly fair. They're no higher than you'd find anywhere else. Second, who's saving who here? Are you prepared to eat bark and fight with rocks and sticks? You know I have open contracts with dozens of suppliers. I arrange deliveries and do whatever it takes to get you sharper weapons, better magical items, better food, and you're throwing the extra expense in my face? This is the thanks I get for honest work? What happened to your eye? Should I make up a story about a heroic fight with a horde of demons? Truth be told, this is how it happened. Back when I was a snot-nosed kid, I had just opened my first business selling pies on the street. The local lads quickly took notice of me and offered me protection in return for a small share of profits. The usual, you know. But I was so young, inexperienced and greedy, so I told them to bugger off. Well, they caught me and taught me a lesson. They took it too far though. I paid for the lesson with my eye, not just bumps and bruises. It's funny to remember it now, but back then while it was happening I was so scared. I thought they'd beat me to death. I remember I came running home in tears and my mum just started screaming. I didn't have a clue why, and then I looked in the mirror and saw there were just shreds and mush where one of my eyes should be. I remembered that lesson all my life. Ever since that day when I start a business, I find some reliable business partners first. If I'd been born in a merchant family, my parents would have warned me about this, and about plenty of other things too. But I was a poor lad, so I had to learn everything the hard way. It's a miracle how many times I escaped death by a hair's breadth. In fact, it's lucky all I lost was one eye. I can afford a new eye now, of course, but you know I just can't find the time. It will cost a tidy sum and I don't want to take it out of the earnings. And besides, being the one-eyed devil is a big selling point for me. I'd be a fool to get my eye back only to have to keep it hidden under a patch. Have you heard about my new powers? What do you make of them? People are saying bad things about you, Commander. To be clear, the speakers may not see anything bad in what they say, but I do. They say that you're the chosen of Desna, the most insignificant of all the goddesses. The only thing she knows how to do is flap her butterfly wings and meddle in the affairs of others. They also say that you're not a patch on the other Crusade leaders and that you'll accept absolutely anyone under your banner. A former thief, a goblin, a kobold, even a stump with eyes. And you've got yourself quite the troublesome pet. I could understand the serious battle dragon, but this misbegotten thing with dragonfly wings, she gives you as much trouble as a flock of hundreds of sparrows, and what good does it do you? It's bad business to associate with such creatures. I prefer devils myself, as the terms are clearly laid out in the contract. Oh, do I go chaotic? You want to buy some of my nail clippings? Why not? Show me the money first, though. 50 gold coins. Whatever. That's probably going to bite me in the butt. Certainly. The tiefling gives you some gold coins, then wraps your nail clippings in paper and stows them in one of the purses hanging from his belt. Goodbye. We'll talk to Social real quick and then Ember. Good afternoon, Commander. How can I help you? Go away. Did you think about what the Hell Knight told you? Oh, wow. Yes, Social shakes his head. Another dead end. I still know nothing. How could Trevor have parted with his shield? I can't imagine. You must believe in your brother. If he gave away this shield, it means he had a good reason. I do believe it, I do. But what could have made him part with our family relic? Speaking of which, have I sold that? Or did I give it to Sealer? Probably gave it to Sealer. You know, it's not only the Hell Knights who told me the truth. Knight Tirabane refused to tell me anything about my brother's fate while I was serving in Canabras. But after these events, she finally broke her silence. And the thing she told me, Social shakes his head, that he was a good fighter, but a terrible knight, and an utterly worthless paladin. He became more and more cruel as time went on. He started caring more about destroying the enemy than protecting the innocent. He gushed over Prelate Hullrune and his witch hunts. Eventually the goddess's patience wore thin. When he beat up some poor fellow for blasphemy, Shaylin took away Trevor's powers. That was a huge blow for him. He left the city, asking only that his disgrace be kept secret from his family. That's why Irabeth didn't say anything earlier. Brother. My brother, but how? He's always been kind, merciful. Where could this cruelty have come from? What do you think of your brother's fate now? Can't wrap my head around what I've learnt. It's as if we're talking about a different person altogether. How could he? Why did he give his shield to that she-devil in black armour? Oh, Shellen, let this all be a mistake. Bye. Ember? Okay, you have nothing to say. I think Regil is in the command. I do need to check out the vendors properly. Because I know Wilsa had some new stuff. which I checked. Blacksmith, you've changed. You weren't a dwarf. The Dissector. Bardiche. This +3 Bardiche deals additional 2d6 slashing damage on hit against bleeding or helpless enemies. Okay. Yeah, you can summon a large water elemental. All creatures, yeah. If it was all enemies, that would be much better. There's nothing much. Oh, I did buy a bag of holding as well last time. So my weight limit has changed, which is awesome. Exotic weapons provider. Orag's Wrath. Or Wrath. Whenever this +2 Radiant Dwarven Urgosh confirms a critical hit, it deals an additional 4d6 holy damage. It already deals 1d6 holy damage. Or positive damage. Okay, that's rather good. Fauchard. Fauchards are really good reach weapons because they have really good crit range. This weapon is a +2 Evil Outsider Bane Fauchard. If the wielder of this weapon has a good alignment, this Fauchard grants them a +3 bonus on damage rolls against non-good creatures and becomes good aligned. Evil Outsider, which I think a lot of things are in this game, because demons. So it becomes a +4 weapon. And deals 2d6 extra damage. Oh, I might have to look into that. Wow, what the hell? It's pretty good. Plus a sling staff has a range. It's a lot of damage and quite a high DC for now. Okay,
Careful now.
I have a lot to look at. Isn't there another vendor here? Arcane Weaver. There you are. Ooh, loot. And a jewelry trader. Let's have a look at the jewelry. It's in this. Ooh, Mighty Fists. Enlivening Leadership. This ring grants the wearer a +5 competence bonus on persuasion checks and grants their companions a +1 morale bonus on all skill checks? What? Samuel adds blue. Okay. Goggles of Pure Sight. These goggles allow their wearer to take 20 on their next Dispel magic attempt once per day. They also grant a +1 bonus to caster level checks made to overcome spell resistance. There's so much good stuff. Oh, you have a phylactery of positive channeling. Jesus, there's so many good. I really want this. I can afford it. But I need to see what I'm going to respec as. Shirt of Blazing Fighter. Okay. Fire resistance 30 and a +5 competence bonus to athletic skill checks. The fact that it's a shirt as well. Can only be worn by a monk. Okay. Immunity to fire. When this cloak channels energy to harm undead, for the next 2 rounds they become surrounded with a fire shield that deals 1d6 plus character level fire damage to the attackers for each successful melee attack against the wearer. Okay. Source of Dividing Power. Whenever the wearer of this robe uses divine power to summon a creature, they can choose to give the creature's attacks either holy or unholy special quality. Whenever they're polymorph, no thank you. Celestial Protection. +5 resistance bonus on saving throws against demons and a +5 competence bonus on law, religion, skill checks. Okay. Oh, wow. They're pretty good. Okay. Well, there's Darren. Hanging around 2 nobles and a peasant. Oh. Looking around the place, the Count seems quiet and dejected. Ah, Selena, hello there. I'm feeling uncharacteristically pensive right now. Or rather, I'm finding it rather difficult to put my thoughts into words today. I'm trying to understand something. We've been travelling together for a while now. What's your opinion of me? We could just die straight up. Go for this. Oh, I forgot to read it. You don't let anyone get close. There might be a good reason for that, but you can always count on me if you ever need any kind of support. Darren's eyes widen in shock, and he looks at you with bewilderment. Then he smiles. Have you any idea how terribly insipid you sound? Throw in some extra nonsense like, you can confide in me, and I'll be adamant that you were raised by a couple of trite playwrights who put you to sleep by reading their boring scribblings on the workings of the heart. Fine, do you know why I asked you that? Because the answer to the question, what do you think about me, usually reveals more about the one doing the answering than the one doing the asking. Now that I've got you thinking, let's proceed to the usual small talk. I have to do this. Right. Oh, different. You know what? Darren asks, not. Oh, there's an ad playing. Never mind. I'll take a quick drink. And I think I am going to go and respec my main character. I just don't know which one. Yeah, I think I might change my character into a melee. Because I always end up on the front line sometimes due to the fact of where my character gets positioned when talking to people. You know what? Darren asks, not bothering to greet you properly. I've noticed a certain cyclical pattern in my life ever since I've met you. First, something happens that leaves me positively intrigued. Then I descend into the depths of fear and anger. Then I start to think that it's not so bad. The curiosity comes back, and then something even more dreadful occurs. The demons attacking my home and the city around it was unpleasant enough already, but I thought I could compensate for that by striking up a curious acquaintance and having some new experiences. Then my dearest cousin threw me right into the middle of a crusade, and just when I started to see some positives in my current situation, the gargoyles kidnapped me. The slaughter in Drezen following my triumphant rescue effectively put out every spark of optimism. Morning, Memento. How are you today? I hope you're well. Put out every spark of optimism that I had managed to gather. Now the city is in our hands again, and it's getting more and more tolerable to stay here. I feel surprisingly good, and I'm even beginning to find the city rather enjoyable. This brings one very reasonable question to my mind. What is the next outrageous and dangerous mess you're going to pull me into? Hi KG, how are you today? I hope you're well as well. I'm so tempted to do one or three. I'm going to do one. I have a couple more perilous trials and insurmountable challenges in store just for you. Does this list include the ordeal known as the Trial of the Cold Oatmeal? If not, then there's nothing to be afraid of, and if you think I've just shown you my weak spot, then you're wrong. It was deliberate misinformation. Do you want to talk about your past? I've been thinking a lot about what happened since our visit to Heaven's Edge. I want to see if I can say to him that I know what happened, because I think it kills me instantly. Darren's face grows grim. I don't like discussing such unpleasant things. You seem to be quite capable of having fun, so why are you... I don't even know what you are trying to achieve here. I suppose you can always ask, and I'll decide whether I want to answer or not. Tell me, honestly, do you miss the people who died that day? Darren is silent for a moment. His pupils seem to pulsate to the rhythm of his thoughts, or emotions, perhaps. I regret leaving my mother alone. She deserved a better death than that. They confined her to a room so that she wouldn't infect those who still believed they could avoid the illness. And, oh, I forgot that you didn't know. All right, that's enough. He shakes his head. Let me be blunt, I don't care about my so-called kin at all. People die every day, and none of those people were my friends. They are dead, and I am alive and able to enjoy life to the fullest. Besides, there are many things far worse than death. Were you ever close to your mother? Darren sighs. Perhaps. Maybe. My mother loved me and I loved her, even though I was a thorn in her side. How can you truly be close to your parents when you're just an arrogant whelp? At least I was lucky enough to have a real mother instead of a countess mother. Aristocratic parents often see their children as valuable investments and vessels for all of their ambitions. Thank you for your answer. Oh, I can't tell him that I know about it. Think. What's Queen Galfrey like in person? I've met her. You mean my dearest cousin? Oh, she is the embodiment of all the virtues one can possibly think of, and all the unthinkable ones as well. She's beautiful, wise, charismatic, sharp-witted, a kind yet ambitious ruler, a skilled fighter, and a beacon of faith for all the worshippers of Iomade. Have I already mentioned her unrivaled beauty? I'm more than sure that even her cooking is delicious. If she would deign to descend to the realm of mortals and actually try to cook something. The old bitch. Darren's bored tone doesn't waver, even on these last words. If you think I am insulting her dishonourably behind her back, then you are wrong. Her Majesty is perfectly aware of my feeling toward her. The entire capital knows it as well, all of Canabras too, if not the entire country. My royal cousin is the quintessence of everything that irritates me about my glorious motherland, her flamboyant righteousness, forced selflessness, and sadly her sincere devotion to austerity. The Count frowns. I must give her credit for one thing, though. She somehow managed to keep this country united, even despite the unrelenting demonic threat and the influx of thousands of foreigners every day. After a pause, Darren continues. Galfrey of Mendev is like a demigoddess to many of our paladins. She is the Crusader Queen, the Sword of Iomade. Is there any other monarch on Golarion whose subjects love them so ardently? The church pays for her life elixirs so that she can continue to be the cement that keeps the crusade together. Without her, this whole war machine would fall to pieces immediately, and I'd so love to watch it crumble. This holy pot is in need of a good stir. Okay. Camellia is up here, but is there any loot? Oh, really? I can't go any further than that? Okay. Fine, have it your way, game. Where is it? Oh, it's trying to put me up there because of the camera angle. What loot is in the house? I need the loot. I will take a book. Because I got 10 HP from a book earlier. Oh, don't question it. It's just part of this game's mechanics. So what was it? Prodigal Sons. Prodigal info. No, got nothing from it. Basically, you need to read every book that you come across in this game, because some of them give you things. Like this one gives me attack and damage rolls with glaives. This one gives +1 saving throw against swarms, +1 shield bonus to AC against demons, morale bonus to AC against dragons, which is going to come in handy probably. +1 competence bonus to attacks and damage on all natural attacks. Ooh, that could be useful. Perception and stealth skill checks, +10 hit points. Why? I can understand getting better at stuff, like understanding how to fight dragons and demons and how to wield a glaive. But then I read this, which made me healthier. Don't question it. Always takes a little bit to load up Drezen. There we go. What does Camellia have to say? Girl, you're covered in blood. Is everyone covered in blood? Oh, wait. It's probably because I resurrected you. Which means Dayron should be the same as should Regil. Yeah, Dayron is absolutely covered in blood. Okay. So I've talked to everyone except for Arushale over here. I've checked out all of the shops. Oh, I haven't talked to Seela. Not that I really care. He does have that thing passively. Oh, Seela looks sad and pensive. It's good to see you. Get this, Janna, the one who ran away when we were attacked by demons, never went back to her unit. She was seen running toward Numeria. Looks like she deserted. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. Will you be quiet? Right. It's still loud. It's the horses and stuff. I wonder if it's this one. Someone scream, please. I think that's slightly less. Oh well. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. Or not the only thing. Since our raid on the Houndhearts' camp, I've had this sinking feeling that I made a mistake. Dragging you into this, I mean. I should have known that a raid along the edge of the world wound wouldn't be so easy. But mostly I was wrong about a lot of people. About Janna, who lost her nerve and abandoned her friends. About Pearl. I knew he was a thief, but I really thought he'd turned over a new leaf and deserved a little compassion and trust. And Ilan, I thought we were kindred spirits, friends, through thick and thin, but it looks like I was wrong about him too. Seela looks at you closely, waiting for your answer. I'm gonna go for the good option. Don't lose your trust in people, Seela. So what if you made a few mistakes? It's no reason to give up on your ideals. Somebody has to show people that there's a better path. Sela's expression brightens. Thank you, my friend. I needed that support. She sighs. Thanks for listening to my grumbling and for helping me get to the bottom of this. I'm not going to leave things as they stand. If I get the chance, I'll track down Jana and see if I can talk some sense into her and find out why Curl did what he did. I can't stop thinking about what Ilan told me in the end. I really have become more powerful than paladins who are far more experienced and selfless than me. There's something not right about it. A servant of Iomade should gain their powers through dedicated personal effort. It's the only way to make sure they'll use their power for good. Our journey so far, it's all wrong. And I mean I need to be 3 times as hard on myself now. Okay. Do you have anything else to add? Oh, fine, I'll do all the talking. Good days and clear skies. What do you say? Where are we off to today? The fate of the League of the Cart affected you greatly. So you could say I did what I thought was right. I tried to help a good person with their troubles. And what came of it? I'm sorry, but I won't find peace until I track down Curl and Jana. What were they thinking? Is there any way to get through to them, or should I just admit I was terribly wrong? There's another thing that's worrying me. The way people react to your power, and mine. They think that if we've been chosen by Iomade, that they need to pray at our feet. I'm not comfortable with the younger warriors hanging on my every word. Sela smiles sourly. I feel alone. Nobody else is... I feel alone. Well, bye, now you are on your own. Nobody else is going to sit around with me and celebrate saving a beer cart. And I'd like to regain, if not the friendship, at least the trust of the other knights, especially those I respect and consider my friends, like Ilan. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Unfortunately, I do want to do your quest, but not for you. Okay. Oh yeah, I have this now. I have added some mods to the game. Not game breaking or game altering, just or difficulty altering or whatever. Basically, I have a buff list. I can't set it up now because it doesn't work very well when you have access to every single party member. I'll have to do it out in the field. A middle-aged paladin with a genial face salutes you. His sparse grey hair stands in fuzzy tufts on his head, giving him a distinctly unwarlike appearance. Ever-bright Crusaders reporting for duty. My name is Siar Kobolin, and I am at your service. Or Kaya? Queen Galfrey is gathering the main attack forces in Nerosium. She ordered us to replenish the losses suffered in Canabras and come here. We will support your troops. A tall, dark-eyed lad is standing behind Kiar. He passionately echoes Kiar's words. Or sire? Maybe sire. We are ready to go to the front immediately. Allow us to be at the spear of the attack. The old crusader calls the young man to order. Morveg, don't speak unless spoken to. Don't worry, no one will be defeating any demons without you. Siar smiles kindly and tussles the boy's hair. Who have you brought with you? Ever-bright crusaders mainly, but we have a lot of volunteers who joined us. Those who arrived at the Queen's call but didn't want to sit in Nerosium waiting for the main army to set off. All the hotheads know that the front is here. Siar nods at the boy behind him, the one who's eager to fight. We picked up this one too. He walked to Canabras with an old sword in his hand and a few copper coins in his pocket. He was going to keep walking to kill the demons, and then he would probably have laid siege to Threshold, no doubt. The boy's cheeks go pink at the old man's gentle mockery, but he continues to stare ahead resolutely and boldly. Did you fight in Canabras? How are things there? Not personally, no. The Queen summoned me and the bulk of our order to Nerosian. Almost all who remained behind in Canabras died, and the ones that didn't were disorganized and leaderless. But the order did not perish. New volunteers have been pouring into our ranks. We are licking our wounds, Canabras is rebuilding, life wins out. People are coming from all over Avistan to help. Many are joining up with the crusade, just as it happened back in the first crusade. Joining up with the crusaders. I'm going to say, I thought Avistan was the continent. Great, you will be serving under my command. The crusader gives you a friendly smile. It's an honor for us, Commander. Let's give the demons a dusting. Okay, Regal, yeah, and Irabath. But I want to check for loot. Well, I think I already did.
Always watch your back.
Rest, personal chest. I'm going to go and put all of the books in here, like I usually do. That's fine. Still have all these keys. At least they don't weigh anything, I guess. Oh, I could talk to Ivu in here as well. And the Nevia. Let's talk to Ivu. Oh god, so much talking in this game. Do you want the ultimate proof that demons are mean and awful? Nothing tasty ever grows on the lands that they corrupt. No apples, no plums, not even wild strawberries. Now that's pure evil. Where did you come from again, and why did you decide to help me? You're my bestest friend, how could I not help you? As for coming here, I just sensed your power and flew all the way to you. I mean, I can't usually fly between the planes by myself, but your power was like a guiding light, so I just flew. Tell me about Elysium. I can't tell you all that much about Elysium. I only lived there for 5 years, after all. If you don't count the time I spent as an egg. It's a beautiful world. So many things grow there and they produce beautiful fruit. But there are some fruits that you're not allowed to eat. And there are some places where you're not allowed to fly either. And there are places that kids aren't allowed to visit. Though not as many as there are here on Galarian. All kinds of beings live in Elysium. Even titans and gods. But I've only ever met one. Hidden Kylian, god of alcohol. He's not like other gods. He can go wherever he wants and talk to whoever he wants. Imagine that. There I was just flying around on some errands and I met him. A god. He let me sit on his shoulder and carry me around for a bit. It was so much fun. But then he gave me a sip of beer and I said it tasted revolting. I realised it probably wasn't the best thing to say to the god of ale and wine, but he wasn't angry. He just laughed and said I'd understand when I grew up. I hate it when people say that, even a god. You'd think a god would know what dragons like. What do you think of my companions? Oh, I thought you'd never ask. I like Arushale best. She's so cute and she has wings too. They make her twice as cute. Ember is kind, but I'm a little scared of her. And don't tell anyone this. I almost got in a fight with that crow of hers. Regal, boo, let's kick him out. Pretty please. Social always smiles at me, but he won't paint me properly. I keep telling him to add an extra tail, a fluffy one, and make my claws fluffy, maybe add a golden little plume that glows, but he just says that I don't look like that in real life. Who cares about real life when you can imagine so much better? Seela, I kind of like her, but I kind of don't. She always treats me like I'm just some little pipsqueak. I mean, I know I'm little, but I'm still a dragon. Camellia is beautiful, but her spirit doesn't seem to want to talk to me for some reason. I guess it's just too shy. I don't even want to talk about Greybaugh. It feels like he's always sizing me up, wondering what kind of trophy I'll make when I'm big. I'll steal his pack one night and chew it up just because I can. Darren is mean. He doesn't think I'm even a little bit cute. I'm sure of it. How can you even speak to someone who doesn't love a cute little dragon like me? I'm a bit scared of Nenia. She's already tried to catch me 3 times. She said she wanted to measure me with a ruler or something and attach a clothespin to my wing. It sure was annoying. Wendoag is a meanie, and I don't like meanies. She's still cute though. Her little spider legs are the cutest of all. Oh, you even including Irabeth. I like Irabeth, but only from a distance. I don't want to be too friendly with her. I mean, she'd probably start making scary faces and stamping her feet if I scattered peas where the paladins go to pray. You know, to make them slip and flail their arms about trying to stay standing. That would be so funny. And Nevia probably wouldn't yell at me, but she'd probably catch me before I even poured the peas. I'm friends with your entire court, especially Aranka, Wallflower, and Ilks. But you probably know that already. Yeah, we're gonna go there. Aren't you scared of battling the demons? Not even a tiny little bit. After all, I have you by my side. By the way, next time we meet any demons, we should ask them if they're scared to fight us. I have to go. Then I have to go too. We have to go. Both of us. Nevia. Okay, look who it is. Hi! Have you figured out how the demons have been sneaking up on us? Ooh, okay. Nevia answers with scarcely concealed irritation. No dice. Our scouts crawled all over the area, down every hole, nothing. The grey road was completely empty, and then, bam, a whole army popped up like a jack-in-the-box. My only lead is a few scouts who didn't come back from the gorges to the southwest, but we found no sign of secret paths or underground passageways, and definitely no route we can use to quietly move a large force through. But I feel it in my gut, there's some evil scum out there. We just have to look harder. Of course I could send out more scouts, but they might just disappear like the first ones. Why don't you go there yourself and find out what's what? What do you think of my new powers? Nevia scoffs. Ooh. I don't know if this counts as blasphemy or whatever, but you look like Desna just had her wicked way with you. You've got a bit of that divine sass about you, man. And the dragon. I'm a little put out that I didn't get to see how you flew on the thing in battle, sending the demons running scared, grabbing whatever they could and hightailing it out of there. Did you find out anything about where Minago is now? Anevia shakes her head sharply. Nope, zero zilch. A whole lot of nothing. The scum melted into thin air. Soldiers saw her jump out the window, run through the square in front of the citadel and suddenly disappear. We haven't heard anything from her since, and I don't like it. I'm telling you, this is bad. First of all, her kind don't just give up. If we can't see her, it means she's setting a trap for us somewhere we won't expect. I mean, it would be great if the demon lords just gobbled her up for all her failures, but I think that's too much to hope for. But that's not the worst part. We have more interesting questions, you know. I wonder how she teleported from the city. If by that time you'd already hung the banner. The soldiers are saying it probably wasn't in full force by then. But you and I both know that's dross. She wasn't supposed to be able to teleport, but she did. The question is how. She probably turned invisible. But also the fact that Irilu Vorlesh teleported out. She might not be classed as full demon, maybe? Irabeth. Irabeth's eyes are vacant. Her thoughts are clearly somewhere far away. Seeing you, though, she snaps to attention. Hail, Commander. Give the solemn hour to Irabeth. I found your father's sword. Take it. I don't know if it was good or not. Raise Iomade. Irabeth takes the sword as gently as if it were a living creature and sheathes it in the scabbard. I don't know what to say. I'm forever indebted to you. I never thought I'd get my sword back. What am I paying you? Please allow me to reward you, and please, no objections. I could never replace this sword. I shall never part with it again, I swear. How do you have 50,000 gold coin? What? Okay, we need to talk about what happened during the attack on Drezen. Irabeth nods curtly. Yes, I was shamefully faint-hearted. Praise Iomade, it didn't affect the course of the battle. Still, my behaviour was unworthy of a knight, even less a commander. Under the circumstances, leaving my position would be tantamount to desertion. Still, as your advisor, I strongly recommend you release me from my position as head of the order, strip me of my knighthood, and send me to serve in the condemned. No! You're not Staunton vain. And even that was terrible, what the Queen did. For this, few deserved these titles more than you. Don't blame yourself. Under the circumstances, you did everything possible, and more besides. Fairly sure I'm using Dayron for my diplomacy, who has plus 22 and DC was 15. Yeah. Thank you, Commander. The gratitude in Irabeth's voice is sincere. A spark of enthusiasm appears in her eyes, which had grown dull over recent weeks. Also, the fact that you gave me 50,000 gold coins. Yeah, I'm going to make sure you stay a commander. The half-orc salutes you sharply. For a moment you once again see the Irabeth who was ready to protect the defender's heart to her dying breath. Thank you for still trusting me, more than anyone else does in this crusade, even more than I trust myself. It's a lot of XP I just got. Despite your words, Irabeth obviously still feels unworthy of a commander's rank. Changing her mind will require more than platitudes. Perhaps you can bolster her by appointing her to a position where she can work more closely with rank-and-file soldiers, those whose faith in their commander remains undimmed. How is the Eagle Watch doing in Canabras? Everything is going well. I was wary of handing over the reins at first. I was afraid that everything would fall apart without Anevia and me. But I took a risk and left a very clear lad in charge, a tiefling as it happens. He infiltrated the cult alone. They couldn't imagine a tiefling wouldn't be on their side. He exposed an entire cell. I personally knighted him just before the city was attacked. Of course, there were many who weren't happy about it, but it's not my job to make people happy. He hasn't disappointed. He has built up the Order's ranks again and is running everything so smoothly. It's as if the demon attack never happened. He's proven more than once that I left Canabras in good hands. But I admit, it's still strange to think that such a small order as the Eagle Watch now has 2 chapters, one in Drezen and one in Canabras. I have to go. Bye. Let's talk to Regil.
Hesitation is a waste of time.
Regil stands with his hands behind his back. His favourite pose, it would seem. This one. He seems submerged in thought, but gathers himself immediately as you approach. His pale yellow eyes examine you inquisitively. Knight Commander, it is good you found time to meet me. There's a matter of some urgency I must discuss with you. It was incredibly interesting the power you and your companions received during the fight at the Grey Garrison, and now my interest has been gratified. The power your companions received has passed on to me as well. It manifested after my usual evening reckoning. I believe I now present a true threat to the creatures and initiates of chaos. The imprisoned cultists we kept for certain observations experienced this firsthand. Okay. Regal's voice is unemotional, almost bored, but leaves no doubt as to the cultist's fate. Striking, isn't it? Divine Sorry, needed to yawn. Divine intervention at a critical moment is rare, but not beyond imagining. But in this case, part of the power that you received through this intervention has passed to someone who joined you well after the fateful moment had passed. I believe this power has been given to me and others for a good cause, to protect this miserable world from the demons. He's probably not gonna like it. I mean, he's lawful, but I think he's lawful evil. And I'm afraid that your definition of a good cause might be very different than your companion's as commander. In any case, this is shallow philosophizing. You must have some questions for me. May I ask some questions about... Oh. Okay. What brought you to Mendev? The demonic threat, of course, and the glaring inefficiency of the local command. I do not know if you are aware of this, but the Hell Knights owe their existence to the Demon Lords to a certain extent. Our first order appeared in response to Sifkesh's cultists in Cheliax, and the chaos they wreaked could not fail to breed strict opposition. Those first knights were able to burn out the pestilence and crush the cult once and for all. I see no reason for the Hell Knights of today not to do the same to the tentacles of the world wounded spreading. Without question, the task is more difficult than anything we've encountered before, but it must be done to preserve world order. All the more so given that Queen Galfrey and her commanders are apparently not up to the task. The motives you list sound rather impersonal. I need to yawn again. That would probably be the lack of sleep I've been getting. All the more so given that Queen Galfrey and her commanders are apparently not up to task. The motives you list sound rather impersonal. Don't you have any other reasons for joining the crusade? Impersonality is a fine quality for a Hell Knight, and for the rest of the world as well. Personal motives, strong emotions, they are weaknesses that your enemies will use against you. I am an effective officer with years of service. The demonic invasion of Galarian obviously demands the most qualified response. That is why I am here. It's simple. You are rather skeptical about Queen Galfrey. If memory doesn't fail me, the current crusade is called the Fifth Crusade. It's called the Fifth. The Fifth Crusade. With all the support the Church of Iomedae and multiple other allies provided to Galfrey, no progress has been made in resolving the crisis at the World Wound. The best they could manage was to create a chain of wardstones, and even they turned out to be inadequate. I suppose that should be reason enough for my skepticism. Forgive me for asking a personal question, but your hair is going grey and your skin is rather pale. It's the bleaching, right? Of course it's the bleaching. Rachel shrugs indifferently. Okay. Are you doing anything to fight the bleaching? What do other races do to fight the old age? Regal allows himself a brief smirk. I know what made you ask this question. My kin have earned a certain reputation for their vain attempts to stave off the inevitable. Luckily, for the rest of the world, not all gnomes are prepared to spread chaos with their reckless escapades. There are some among us who accept the natural order of things. The bleaching has no effect on my ability to carry out my duties, and therefore it has no, how should I put it, personal meaning for me. Do you have any family or friends? I've never wondered at the fate of the former and never had interest in the latter. If you'll allow me one piece of advice, Commander, never put too much stock in so-called friendship or camaraderie. Any bonds based on simple affection are temporary and unreliable. Half of your smiling companions certainly consider you their friend for the present, but they will break and betray you the moment you do anything that troubles their happy expectations. Yeah, like if I became a lich, fairly sure like Sealer would leave. Place greater value on respect based on the rational evaluation of your companions' merits. I deeply respected my mentor, who trained me to join the ranks of the Hell Knights. I respected her so much that I killed her with my own hands when I discovered that she'd betrayed the Order's ideals and was intending to leave our ranks. It would have been more proper to inform the command and wait for formal trial, but on the other hand, that would have injured the morale of our young recruits. They should not have seen manifestations of weakness in our seasoned knights. Regal cringes. Okay. You have openly shown your distrust of the Crusader command. Why then have you decided to join me? Do not misread my behaviour as distrust of your. Do not misread my behaviour as distrust of you personally. Like every Hell Knight, I watch everyone closely, searching for signs of weakness and sin. Everyone, including myself. Regal speaks the last word pointedly. Indeed, Regal Derenge is first on my list of suspects. I observe him daily, marking every fault, every hesitation, every weakness, and I prepare the proper punishment. So it has been and will be. As for your second question, I suppose we may be useful to each other. You and your army are a new power in the Crusade. I rate all the old powers as quite ineffective. I have yet to rate your own efforts, but early indications are positive. That means you may count on my help, for now. I'm actually going to do this. I like the way you think, strict on yourself and rational toward others. This only confirms my initial assessment. I'm glad to hear it, Commander. Regal bends a little in a polite half-bow. Thank you for your answers. What can you tell me about the Hell Knights? I could tell you a great deal, however the Order's recruiters would be a better source of information on such matters. How are new members recruited? We accept as armigers any we find worthy. But for the main test, the one that separates the strong from the weak, they must face down a devil summoned directly from hell. If they defeat the beast honestly, the armiger becomes a rightful Hell Knight. If they lose, we simply forget their existence, like the world made an unfortunate mistake. Who do Hell Knights answer to? Only to the heads of their orders. In my case, it's Lictor Rezak Unter, or Auntor, head of the Order of the Godclaw. As a rule, the Hell Knights do not submit to the jurisdiction of any state. The same is true of local laws. We are happy to help local governments bring order, if we consider their request lawful, if those who ask are worthy, but we do not serve them, and have every right to refuse their demands. So what do you value most? The law, and only the law. I am the law. If you care so much about the law, how can you ignore the authority of the lawful rulers in the lands where you operate? We cannot call it law just because some foolish local prince thought it up or a council of demented elders deems it wise now, can we? You see, one of the main principles of our brotherhood is that no one is immune from prosecution. A lawful ruler may be a criminal that poses a threat to society. We must be able to punish them as well. This is why Hell Knights only honour the measure and the chain, the doctrine shared by all our orders, and why Hell Knights serve only their officers and the aim of transforming this chaos-torn world and leading it to a brilliant and ordered future. We are the main bastion of order in Galarian, no matter how much some naysayers try to refute it. Thank you, I've learned everything I wanted to know. Expanding one's knowledge is a good deed, provided, of course, that knowledge is useful. Ask if you have any further questions. Do you have a plan or strategy for the war against the demons? A spark flashes in Regal's eyes. I have a clear idea of the forces I shall require to wage effective war against the world wound. Currently, I do not possess them, but I know what steps I must take. We must amass and fortify, gather scouting information, resolve certain problems of an organizational nature. My people are establishing an outpost not far from the ruins of an ancient shrine. Demons appear there often, so we'll be tracking them for information and owning our skills in combat. This is my strategy for the moment. Thank you for speaking with me. Until next time. Whew. Still have a Ruchele to speak to as well. Christ. Oh no. I'm just going to have a quick drink before I do this. Although that's also not a sigh of me hating the game. I love the game, it's just Crusade development can be a chore, along with the army management. I may get a mod to change the army management thing that basically lets you win automatically every fight, rather than trying to deal with it. Now that you've captured Drezen, new options for the Crusade have become available to you. You can now construct buildings in forts and Drezen, issue decrees and capture and investigate new regions. Both mercenary and trainable units will appear at the commander's headquarters in Drezen. The demon armies will try to take Drezen from you, destroy them, or else after 7 days of siege, Drezen will be completely blockaded by enemy forces who will no longer be able to command the Crusade. To access the Crusade management menu, click the button in the bottom right corner of the screen on the global map. Developing each of the Crusade stats opens up new options that empower your armies and economy. Military focus on drilling and training units. Recruit both trainable and mercenary units to improve the rank of your military stat. Logistics focus on economy and construction. Construct buildings to improve the rank of your logistics stat. Okay, diplomacy focuses on establishing contacts with mercenaries and foreign nations, and enhance the significance of the Crusade by earning resources of all types to improve the rank of your diplomacy stat. Leadership focuses on morale and army generals. Win battles and level up your generals to improve the ranks of your leadership stat. Once the rank up requirements for one of the Crusader stats has been met, you will unlock the corresponding decree. Your military campaign will require 3 types of resources: finance points, material points, and energy points. Needs to recruit units, needed for building, used for the recruitment of mythic units and the completion of certain decrees. You gain new resource points each day, prevailing over demons' armies in battle and constructing certain buildings. Increases the income of resources. You can also purchase the required resources with gold. Okay. Birthright. Nobles often look down on commoners, as aristocrats are taught from birth that they are better than the lowborn. This attitude causes quarrels between them and common warriors. And the officers have asked the commander to intervene. Okay. Leadership experience. Okay. Morale. Why would we ever choose this? This gives the same morale. Just half the leadership experience. Have them compete. If nobles want to prove they're highborn, go for it. Sealer acted as the head judge at the tournament, where everyone was given a chance to prove their worth. The nobles went up against the commoners, and only strength and skill decided the outcome of each fight. Upon witnessing what common warriors were capable of, the aristocrats had no choice but to acknowledge their valour. The tournament served as a bonding experience for the Crusaders. Okay. The touched one. An odd and somewhat touched priest has sought an audience. In a dream he saw himself eradicate the world wound, and he's convinced that it was an omen. With the help of the relics he borrowed from his temple, he was able to make the arduous journey to Drezen, and is now asking the commander to keep them safe while he is away on his quest to fight evil. Okay. Sells for a lot. I have a mod that I think is letting me see what I get. Finance points income increases. Convince the priest to join the army. All generals gain +1 level to the reduction of losses feat. I don't use heavy maces. But I kind of want to sell that. A finance. Infirmary size increases by 5% per level of this feat. It's useful, but I think I kind of want to go for the finance points so I can build more things. Because the income increases, so I think that's the daily income. Upon hearing out the commander, the priest admitted he may have succumbed to the sin of pride. Enlightened, he departed from Drezen and went to preach to the people and collect donations to support the crusade. After all, only the commander's army can defeat the Abyss. Okay. You can only have one of your decrees issued for each of the crusade stats at any given time. Each decree has a cost and a completion time. Some decrees can only be issued once, others have a repeat time, which is displayed in the decree description window. Your progress in crusade management unlocks certain special decrees. A stat rank up decree becomes available upon meeting specific rank up requirements. A relic upgrade decree, which turns a relic into a powerful artifact for your party to use, becomes available when you obtain a suitable relic. Why are you red? Okay, skilled craftsman can do some work on the relic. Cleanse soul shear. Becomes adamantine. Makes you +2 lay on hands further and channel energy. Okay. Leave it as it is, which is... Oh, it summons demons or charm soul shear. Mount gets a +3 bonus on all saving throws and a +3 bonus to combat maneuver defense. Yeah, that. Can I just... I was wondering if... I can go this way. The fate of the unholy symbol of Rovagug. Okay. On critical hit, you absorb part of magical essence, dispelling one random spell up to 5th level on the target. Okay. Temporary sacred poisons. And you are, while you are wielding this, +2 corrosive burst. Oh god. One d6 points of acid damage on a successful hit, which is fine. Corrosive burst weapon functions as a corrosive weapon that also explodes with acid upon striking a successful critical hit. The acid does not harm the wielder. In addition to the extra 1d6 acid damage from the corrosive ability, corrosive burst weapon deals an extra 1d10 points of acid damage on a successful critical hit. If the weapon's critical multiplier is ×3, add an extra 2d10 points of acid damage instead. And if the multiplier is ×4, add an extra 3d10 points of acid damage. So does it affect... Because it said the acid does not harm the wielder. Is it an AoE? While you are wielding this +2 corrosive burst weapon, you have a +3 bonus to attack rolls when performing an attack of opportunity. Your critical threat range is doubled. If you successfully land an attack of opportunity, the enemy must pass a fortitude save or become paralyzed for 1 round. When you are hit by an enemy's attack of opportunity, the enemy must pass a reflex save. Jesus. I don't know why this line is in here. The acid does not harm the wielder. It doesn't say it's an AoE. Scorpion's Kiss. Or we do this one. It's per encounter whenever the wielder of this +2 weapon is paralyzed, staggered, stunned, petrified, or entangled, they suffer the weapon's damage and immediately remove such effect. This weapon also has an 18 to 20 critical threat range. I want a great axe. I want to turn my main character into melee. I want a great axe. Great axes are my favourite weapons in games, but they're often not that great compared to other things. Like, in games, just swords, like long swords, are the most in any game, usually. There's very little choice in other weapons. The fate of Chilro's hide and tusks can make a short spear or a shield, which I honestly don't really care about. Uh, +2. Twelfth level wizard. Don't want that. And I know there's a ad in progress. The fate of the crest of the fallen knight. Belt. Lynn's family belt. While wearing this belt, a monk can spend one. I'm not going to get any monks. Malander's insult. You can cover yourself in an invisible, corrupted fire. Under its effect, all your fire spells deal additional 2d6 unholy damage. You become immune to fire, but gain weakness to cold and holy damage. Oh, Ember. Chainmail. Pizzas. Yeah, that's actually not bad at all. Because it's just a bonus to AC. It doesn't say it's a typed AC bonus. Okay. Such creatures attack the wearer with magic for the next 2 rounds. The wearer gains a +2 profane bonus to attack and damage rolls and caster level checks made to overcome spell resistance. When this effect ends, the first attack the wearer makes suffers a -4 penalty to attack it. What? No. And there's a short sword. That's a... Whenever this +2 short sword lands a hit, the enemy must pass a reflex saving throw. The wound becomes covered in fine emeralds for 5 minutes. Though the enemy becomes immune to bleeding, they suffer a -2 penalty to reflex saving throws. All critical hits against the creature deal additional 3d6 piercing damage. Multiple applications of this effect don't stack. Okay. Once per day you can charge both weapons in your hands with this flame for 10 minutes. Each hit with any of these weapons deals additional 3d6 unholy damage on a hit. I think I would want to go for Shame of Fallen Knight Linz. Because that's an amazing belt for someone that's going to use fire. Finance points. Can't see my finance points and material points. Blissful ally. Finance. Okay. Now, there we go. I have 5,400. So I'm not sure where the choice comes in. I think I want that one. Yeah, I'm going to issue that. Oh, I can't do any more. Okay. Other. Orders to Iribeth lost scouts studying the Sword of Valor. Logistics, military. Okay, so I can only do one of these two. Lost scouts or studying the Sword of Valor. The Sword of Valor, the great relic of the Crusades, mysteriously changed upon coming into contact with the commander. What does this mean? Clerics and wizards could shed some light on the artifact's properties. Scouts cannot work out how the demon army picks its way through advanced units to be able to suddenly attack the Crusader forces. Recently, another suspicious incident took place. Some scouts did not return from their mission to explore the territory to the south of Drezen. I think I'm going to do this. 5 days to resolve. Sure. Orders to Iribeth. Iribeth's breakdown, which occurred before the assault on Drezen, still haunts her mind. She should be reminded that she was, is, and will always be a hero in the eyes of the soldiers by appointing her as commander of a small squad of Crusaders. Unfortunately, because Iribeth is occupied as a squad leader, her duties in the Crusades command have to be transferred to someone else. I should have done this, because it requires 1 day. Oh god, can't even afford that. Let's just do this. Such a big map. Okay. They're over here. I'm gonna move you there. There. Crusader army. Oh, hello. Paladins. Champions. 2d6 plus 13. Ah. Might need to make another army at this rate. You have then... Okay, so if we move here, this, you can take those. Okay. And carry on. You can take those. Nice. IPD, I hope you're doing well. Enjoy your lurk. Commander's Court. I need to get to there as well. These do a hell of a lot of damage. Oh my god, they do a lot of damage. And I reckon... Oh god. Now you need your own infrastructure to hire trainable units, to recruit infantry units, build the main barracks, to recruit range units, build the main shooting range, to recruit cavalry units, build the main stables. You still have access to mercenary units. These arrive in Drezen every week. The base stats of mercenary units are better than those of trainable units, but mercenaries require more resources and can be only recruited as a group in its entirety. If you are not satisfied with the mercenaries that have arrived in a given week, you can search for new units. The number of times you can search for free per week is limited, but can be increased in time. Depending on the mythic path that you have chosen, you will gain access to decrees that recruit special mythic units to your cause. Oh, they already bought them. Which is all this? 1,300. 1,200. I'm going to need another general. But the cost is quite high. Forget that for now. The demons will probably be moving towards me. I'm actually going to move you up here. I really need to get her bigger army size. And that's it. So how do I? Oh, I'm not on the field. How do I go? There we go. I need to go and talk to Aru Chalet. And then I'm definitely going to go and respec my main character. I may respec a couple of others. Streets in Temple. Aru Chalet should just be outside. And I should check if there's any people in here as well. Oh, Ivu is now staying. Good, I don't need to select everyone. Place has been sanctified. It's 2 sanctifications. Book, History of the World Wound. Ooh, loot. Ooh. Let's try 80%. Oh, I made it. I'm going to need to buy more lockpicks, I think.
Careful now.
I like that they've repaired one of the rooms as well. So one of them was completely broken. Oh, I should be able to pick that. $75. How much do I have? 5 lockpicks? Yeah. And my luck, I'll fail. Can't go through there anymore. They got rid of the secret area? I'm sure there was a secret area around here. Yeah, let's go and talk to Aru Chalet and get all of the talking out of the way. So then next week I can do all of the combat stuff. Hopefully. Okay, here we go. Aru Chalet's ruby eyes stare watchfully at passers-by who don't notice her even at arm's length. She turns to you, her face a mixture of contemplation, sadness, and admiration. They're amazing, aren't they? Let me not ask what she's talking about. What are you doing here? I'm watching. She nods at the city dwellers as they hurry past. I'm listening to their conversations, studying their faces. I'm trying to understand what they truly are. Don't want to upset her. Have you learned anything new about mortals? They love cats. Yes. Yes, we do. Cat. Aru Chalet speaks in a very serious manner, as if sharing an important scientific discovery with you. But then a moment later she smiles to give the joke away. No, we do like cats. Seriously, have your observations of humans led to anything? I wouldn't want to draw any rash conclusions. I've only been watching them for a short while. But I think I have understood one thing. The succubi have a saying, mortals always lie. If a mortal isn't talking, it means she's busy lying to herself. But now I see this isn't true. You mortals aren't liars, you're dreamers. Each of you creates a huge daydream for yourself, and everyone you share your life with isn't exactly a lie, because the daydream is your truth. Don't you think you're being a little creepy? What? The succubus blinks, surprised. Really? Why? Don't mean any harm. Why do you like to watch people? You know, in my old life, I thought I knew everything about them. I was a master of seduction, after all. I knew how to tempt a mortal into doing anything I required. I could trap them in a lie or lie myself and never get caught. It's disgusting to remember, but that was my life for many centuries. Now I see I knew nothing. A demon warrior probably also considers himself an expert on mortals because he's killed so many of them. He certainly knows where to thrust the spear for a quick death and where to thrust it for a long and painful one, and he thinks that's enough. My knowledge, it was of the same kind. Many mortals without learning the first thing about them. Now I watch them to understand them. This won't give my victims back their lives, of course. But still, by growing closer to these mortals, it's like I'm paying back some part of my debt to my victims' memories. We are being attacked by demons with unusual powers. Do you know anything about them? Arushale thinks for a long while. Finally, she answers hesitantly. Back in Elushinira, probably, there were rumours about terrible experiments that Baphomet and Discari performed on their troops to make them stronger. Here, on the material plane, these rumours were embellished with lots of details. Some say the demons undergo rituals acquired from Zon Cathon. Others say they feed on the blood of angels, or Clipoths, or demon lords. Still, others say that there are no experiments and Baphomet is just bringing back fighters from the future, a future in which the demons have already taken all of Galarian. Is there a grain of truth in any of these ramblings? There's no way to know. Naturally, none of these rumours give any indication of where these demons come from. I'm sorry I can't help. The only thing that's clear is that the lowly fighters in the army of the Abyss are as puzzled by this as we are. Tell me about yourself. I'm afraid you won't like what I'm going to tell you. Where do succubi come from? Did you have a childhood? No, well, yes, but in brief, the Abyss is nothing like the mortal world. Arushale makes a gesture in the air, trying to find the right words. You remember life since conception. No, wait, you don't remember that part, do you? But certainly you know everything since birth. We do not. Normally when a human dies, the Lady of Graves decides which plane they go to. Most often, those who arrive in the Abyss turn into lava. You know, the little worms no one notices until you step on them. They crawl in the mud for centuries, devouring each other, and the strongest ones turn into demons. I don't know how that transformation happens. Maybe we hatch out of them like caterpillars out of butterflies. No, wait, it's the other way around. Or maybe greater demons sculpt us out of them, like so much clay. I don't know what happened to the lava that they used to make me, and my own memory, it begins with vague fragmentary images, terrors, executions, orgies. I remember some poor lad, half gnawed by the lava. He was crying and begging to be killed, and I pointed at him and laughed and said I wouldn't. Desna, forgive me, I'm so ashamed. How did you end up turning against the Abyss? Temptation. Yeah. Arushale smiles sadly. Strange, isn't it? So many people believe that being good is important, but it's boring and unpleasant, and all that's enjoyable and tempting pertains to evil. Even the servants of kind gods often think so, do they not? You have no idea how easy that makes the role of a temptress. Well, it was my great fortune to discover that it's not always like that. Urushiele looks away, my last victim was a priestess of Desna, the tender of dreams. As you know, demons do not sleep. Mortals always compare their greatest moments to dreams, so I decided it would be interesting to see for myself, and while I was at it, forgive me, goddess, to mock Desna. This priestess lay in my arms, dying of my kiss. I remember every smallest detail. The cold sweat on her skin, her eyes rolled back into her head. Her weak whisper. It's so difficult to recount. Well, I dove into her mind to see what mortal dreams were like. But the goddess saw me in her realm, and it turned out I remained there far longer than I planned. What did Desna do to you? As a punishment, she gave me mercy. I often think, why me? She could easily have blown me away like smoke with the flick of her finger. The gods rarely trouble themselves with the lives of mortals, and even less so with demons. But for reasons of her own, she paid me special attention. She awoke in me the memories of the sinners whose souls were used to create me, all those humans. I knew nothing of them until Desna showed me. Each of them had their own dreams, and a world without pity trampled each of them and placed them on a path that led to the abyss. Their memories, all their hopes and pain. I'm sorry, it's hard for me to talk about this. You see tears well up in the succubus's eyes. Urushiele wipes away her tears and continues. The most important thing I realized was that every mortal is a little world of hopes and dreams, and that although I might be a succubus, I didn't have to live forever with those beastly, boring pleasures and tortures of the abyss. I can be free. I can be myself, if only I can understand who I am. You don't know who you are? What of you? Do you know who you are? Are there many mortals who can make that claim? Before returning me to the mortal realm, Desna whispered something to me. I can still hear her words. She asked me, and what do you dream of? And I don't know. I still don't. You see, demons are simple creatures. Urushiele purses her lips. Each is guided by 2 or 3 strong sins. Before my conversion, my sins were all I was. A ball of desire without anyone behind them doing the desiring. Desires for sex, for flattery, and food. But now I have me. And it's amazing, but it's so complicated. Urushiele makes an apologetic gesture and smiles. What did you do after Desna converted you? I travelled. In the beginning, I thought it was wise to keep away from demons and their temptations, run off to Absalom, or perhaps even further, to another plane. But then I realised that I didn't deserve freedom yet. The abyss was still in me. It called to me, tempting me, seducing me. If I ran away, I would soon return to my old habits. Urushiele forces the word from her mouth. That is why I came here, to join the war, to remember who my enemy is, defeat the demons, not just for the mortal world, but for myself as well. Because if I don't kill my past, it will always be reaching for me. I'm a wonderful liar, and I'm no longer proud of it, but it's still true. The demons never suspected my treason until the very end. I lived as a spy and regularly reported back to the priests of Desna, whatever I learned. Naturally, I concealed my identity from them as well. I would never have been caught, but when I learned that Discari was planning an attack on Canabras, there was no time for caution. I risked everything to warn you, and paid with my freedom. That's such an arsehole comment. I'm going to go for good. Thank you for not running from evil but confronting it. Yes, I'm glad I did, but you know, it's hard. Evil calls evil calls me back every day. And when it's so close, what if one day I grow tired of fighting? So, do you worship Desna now? The goddess did a lot for me, more than I ever deserved. Asking anything more of her would be impudent. I'm grateful to her, but I try not to trouble her with my prayers. Thank you for your answers. Now for the rest. May I ask you a personal question, the kind of question a mortal might ask a succubus? You want to talk about sex. Urushala looks you in the eye. Ask me anything, I'll not keep secrets from you, but don't expect to hear anything light-hearted or pleasant. The kiss of a succubus is deadly, isn't it? Not just the kiss, any caress of any kind sucks the life from mortals, and there's nothing I can do about it. Urushala touches her lips ever so slightly. For mortals, tenderness is tenderness, and violence is violence. But I don't know what it's like to kiss and not inflict pain. I just hope my observations of mortals will help me understand, young lovers, old spouses, even what mortals condemn as promiscuity. To me, it all looks like something amazingly human. You mean you don't just watch people during the day out in the street? Well, I never touch anyone, I never harm anyone, I just watch and listen. Is that bad? Did I say this? She needs to learn the boundaries that people have or need. You must respect others' privacy. Please restrict yourself to observing people in public. If you say so, I'm sorry if I did something wrong. I haven't quite figured out how mortal life works. What is sex between demons like? Everything demons do is sort of cannibalism. Each devours mortals and other demons in their own way. Some enjoy literally tearing off pieces of flesh with their teeth. Others like to subdue and turn their prey into slaves and living tools. Some feed on others' humiliation. It comes in different forms, but the essence is always the same. Another being is an object to be used for your own pleasure. Demon sex doesn't differ from any other type of violence. In my former life, it was something I did to others, or others did to me. Only one person ever received pleasure, not the other. Do you still feel desire? Urushala keeps a long silence as she searches for the right words. You see, on the other hand, my succubus nature remains with me. I feel the desire I feel is the one from my old life. When I look at any mortal, I immediately imagine how. She looks away. But that feeling, that desire, it's not what mortals feel. When you like someone, you don't ponder how good it would feel to drink their soul, do you? You think about how good it would feel to be together. Together, you see. You know how to want someone, and at the same time, not want to destroy them. For me, it's one and the same. Yeah, for me, this line resonates a lot. Don't want to destroy them. I'm the one that gets destroyed. Always. True despair rings in Rushale's voice. I'm not even talking about love, just the common mutual affection of mortals, when they're not poisoned with violence. Now I know that I've never felt it. It's hard to imagine how it's even possible. To do this or not. I don't know if it messes up anything. I'm going to click it. You know, a drop of vital energy is a small price to pay for your kiss. Don't joke like that. For me, it's not a joke at all. Go through all of them. Sorry, it wasn't meant to upset you. Ah, never mind. Just try not to tempt me. You know it's hard for me to control myself. Eat it. Damn it. Thank you for being so open. Rushlane nods without saying a word. Now this appeared. Tell me about life in the Abyss. I can't tell you about all of the Abyss. I've only seen a small part. If you like, I could tell you about the Midnight Isles and Alucinera. Tell me about the Midnight Isles. In the ocean of Ishiar, not far from the mouth of the river Styx, there is a chain of islands. This is the realm of Nocticula, the queen of the succubi. There is no sun there, only a moonlit night, alternating with a moonless one. Each of the islands is one of Nocticula's trophies, the remains of a powerful entity that perished at her hands. As you see, you cannot take a step in the abyss without treading on corpses. Tell me about Alucinera. The Porphyry city is Nocticula's capital. There's no city like it in the mortal world. Absalom is a village in comparison. Millions, I don't exaggerate, millions of demons and mortals live there. Some come voluntarily, not only from Galarian, but from other planes as well. Nocticula keeps an open boundary and enjoys having many guests, merchants and travellers in the city. Some arrive in chains. The slave trade is the most thriving business in the city. From afar, the city may seem a merry place. Many of its dwellers do enjoy themselves, until it's their turn to become someone else's toy. It's a city of suffering, Selena, of cheerful, festive torments that everyone in the city inflicts on those around them. What are some places of interest in Alucinera? The heart of the business quarter is the flesh markets, where the slave trade takes place. I grew up in the mansion of Lady Velexia. It's almost the anagram of Vexalia. Her house is always full of guests doing their best to entertain her. Those whose performance is not to her liking risk remaining at her house forever. The main attraction of the Succubi city is, of course, the brothels, the 10,000 delights. I need not tell you what they offer. If you can imagine it, someone is selling it. Not far from where you can find the Harem of Ardent Dreams, which serves as a sort of city hall, Shamira, Nocticula's right hand and mayor of Alucinera, receives her visitors there. For those who prefer bloodier sport, there are many arenas in the city. The most famous of them is Battle Bliss. Battles run continuously, without breaks and without rules. It doesn't matter what trickery you use to win, it only matters how much fun the crowd is having. And above it all towers the House of Silken Shadows, Nocticula's palace. Hundreds, thousands of towers and domes adorned with jewels. There are legends of what happens inside. Many have striven to experience the delights of the Succubi Queen's palace, forgetting that it was built for her pleasure, not theirs. What can you tell me about Nocticula? She's called the Lady in Shadow. They say that she was the first succubus. She's far from the most powerful of the demon lords, but this hasn't kept her from being the ruin of many significantly more powerful than herself, even building her kingdom upon their bones. They say that, like Lamashtu, she strives to turn herself from a demon lord into a true goddess. She enjoys killing, but her favourite tools are seduction and deception. She only stoops to crude violence when there are no other games to play, and even then she backstabs from the shadows. Her favourite weapon is a crossbow, though a silk garrote would suit her better. If you should ever meet her, do not believe a word she says, and do not fall to her provocations. Do not try to beat her at her own game, and most importantly, remember, the worst mistake anyone can make is to underestimate her. Thanks for the information. What do you think of the powers I gave you? It's a great temptation. I don't know if I should be trusted with such power. I certainly wouldn't trust myself with it. When you have so much power, it's easy to decide you're a god and the mortals are your toys. Perhaps I should wait after we defeat the forces of the abyss. But that's precisely what these powers are for. She thinks for a moment, then speaks softly. You take great risk, and I'm not sure I can handle the temptation. It's hard enough as it is. I have to go. So much talking. Okay. I'm going to go and respec. Got which tavern it's in. I think it's just a normal inn. Ooh, you're here now. Even more talking to do. Let's quick save so we don't have to go through all that talking again. There we are. Morveg. I can speak to him. A dark-haired young man who looks like a typical Kellid greets you politely. He casts a deferential look at Siar, his mentor, standing next to him. A simple straw figure in the shape of a wolf hangs from the boy's neck. How can I help you, Commander? Who are you? My name is Morveg. My family used to live here in Sarkoris. The world wound forced us to flee, made us homeless. Most of our clan died of starvation and disease. We've been wandering the river kingdoms, begging, losing people, but we've never forgotten who we were and where we came from. When I heard another crusade had been declared, I came here to fight the demons and claim vengeance for the homeland of my ancestors. What do you think of Siar? The boy looks at the old man standing next to him with sincere gratitude. He's got a big heart. He picked me up, gave me food and clothes, took me on as an apprentice. Although I was no one to him, you know, us vagabonds don't come across generosity like that. Siar is kind to me, but my master's nature is too soft. He doesn't understand that it's impossible to keep your soul pure when you fight demons. We Kellids of Sarkoris have learned this bitter truth. We know that any means are justified for fighting demons, but Siar can't see that we're right. We've paid for the privilege of hindsight with a sea of blood and the loss of our homeland. I have to go. Good luck to you, Commander. Keep fighting until these monsters are defeated. Quick save. You've got a book. Old Siar gives you a friendly smile. Can the ever-bright Crusaders be of service to you, Commander? The Crusader turns to the young lad standing next to him and wags his finger at him with ostentatious strictness. Morveg, keep it to yourself. If you keep interrupting your elders, you'll be mucking out the stables for a week. Yeah. I want to ask you a few questions about yourself. About me, Siar Cumberland, or me, the glorious ever-bright Crusader, and the leader of my order? A young man standing next to Siar casts a look at his furry grey hair and mumbles, leader of the order, also known as Sir Dandelion. The old man turns to the lad and reprimands him loudly, but kindly. Morveg, you insolent Kellid whelp, show some respect for your mentor's age, or do you think you'll never grow old yourself? I want to know about your past. The old man scratches his thinning, fuzzy hair. About my life before the Order, it was so long ago. As a boy, I decided there was too much evil in the world. Someone had to do something about it, tried to fix it. I decided to become a priest. But then I saw the ever-bright Crusaders, so proud, so pure. And then someone next to me said, "What arrogant snobs." And he was right, we ever-bright Crusaders actually are a little arrogant, so I thought, maybe these invincible snobs could use the help and companionship of such a simple and warm-hearted lad like myself. Who knew that years later I would become their leader? Tell me about your order. The ever-bright Crusaders are not the oldest order, but our traditions are solid. For us, fighting the world wound is not a war, it's our service. We dedicate our lives to it and also our souls. We have high standards and live under many restrictions. We have no families, drink no liquor, play no games of chance, accumulate no wealth, and own no lands, even if we were entitled to them by birth. We reject everything that distracts us, that draws us to a peaceful life. For our hearts are always turned to war, but war is a grim, ugly thing that makes wicked everyone who takes part in it. And we keep our hearts pure so that we are not left sickened by war, so that our light does not fade, because darkness can only be overcome by light. Who's the lad that keeps following you around? He's Morveg. Or Morweg, maybe. Ciar smiles warmly with deep-seated pride. This is Morveg. He is a Kellid from these parts. When the world wound opened, his family was forced to flee. What a life they had. Poor, always hungry, cast aside by the world. When they didn't have any bread, they fed on rage and vengeance. We caught this boy on the road. He was walking north to Drezen to kill demons. Dirty, gaunt, just looking at him made you want to weep. We picked him up, trained him. He's hot-headed and lacks discipline, but he's also smart and brave. When I look at him, I see the future of the Everbright Crusaders. I don't have any more questions. Goodbye. The old man nods. I'm glad I gratified your curiosity. I have to go. Let me go. So yeah, I am going to respec. I'm not enjoying the alchemist that I have. So I may as well go and do that now. Not sure how I want to respec. I want to make him as a 2-weapon fighter. Pre-respec. Me. I need to find Cat. I didn't think I was this far down. To all the furries. No, it's showing further up. Where are you? There I am. Next. I'm going to go Scald. Because I think I can make it so some people don't get the rage powers. Because it means they can't cast spells until this at level 20. I think I'm just going to do normal because I want bardic knowledge. I don't want to lose rage powers. Well, poets. Lose rage, all the rage powers. Herald of the Demon Dancer, lose rage powers. Gain Fiendish Maw, which don't need. Law Master. What do you get that's different? On Call. Okay. Won't call it, loses rage powers. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go as normal Skull. I'm gonna be a human because I like the feet. Get athletics and law nature. Actually, a blade. Like, you can also use wisdom instead of charisma. Use your intelligence instead of wisdom. That's what I was before. Oh, right, okay. The character already has the class skill weapon proficiency arm, and then the corresponding bonus. +1 competence bonus in the case of skills. +1 enhancement bonus in case of weapon proficiency. It's an enhancement bonus, so that won't apply with a magic weapon. Could have been that. Okay. Some undead creatures. Perception and law niche. I'm getting all the skills as class skills anyway. It's fatigue and exhaustion effects. That could be good. +2 bonus to AC against attacks of opportunity. Tense. +1 bonus to AC and damage while under fear effect. Okay. Ooh, saving throws. Hold resistance. Scribe scrolls. I think I get that anyway. Yeah. 2 potions I could get, because I'm going to be missing that. Initiative. I guess having really high initiative would mean I could buff my allies first. But my dex isn't going to be very high. Three extra max hit points, new warrior. Okay. I have martial proficiency anyway. Okay. I think I'm going to get the bonus to initiative rolls. Okay, I want strength. I'm going to try and get everything right. Do I want wisdom? Because I have other people with wisdom. The minimum charisma score needed to cast their spell is 10 plus the spell's level. I'll definitely be buffing this. I'm going to have them in melee, so I want them to hit. I have 5. I was the skill monkey. Use magic device I kind of want, because it's useful. But I think I'm also going to take a point in athletics, maybe? grim performance, that's for sure. And then I probably want cleave. Yeah, armor class. If you make a melee attack and your target drops to 0 or fewer hit points as a result of your attack, you can make another melee attack using your highest base attack bonus against another opponent within reach. You can make only one extra attack per round with this feat. Okay. I'm going to be buffing. So I think I'd either want heightened, maybe? Or extend. I did have a build for this. Yeah. Extend. And then... what do I need? I'm going to take Unbreakable Heart. Fear. Because I have healers for now. So I'll just take that just in case. If I was creating this for first level character, I would have taken Grease. Do I want to change to Desna? I don't want to stick with Green Faith. I think I'm going to change to Desna because of Aruchale. And then I was neutral good anyway. Now I just need to change all this. Hairstyle. Can't remember what hairstyle I had. I think it was that. Yeah. And then to match... no, that's too red, I think it was... oh, actually. I think it was the bright red. No, I'll leave it at that. Eye colour, I think, was just blue. Base... I think was 7. War paint, none. Tattoo, none. Clothes. Was it the other way around? Okay. We can have different war paints on. Oh, I can. Wondered what those were and what the tattoos were extra. Okay, so you can really be good with the tattoos.
A trivial task.
I think...
An expected outcome.
Careful now. Damn this silly thing. What's that glitter? Your luck's run out.
Let us be careful. I failed. I feel faint. Aim carefully. No contest. Let us bide our time. My skills exceed yours.
Let's move already. I won't take that.
With grace? This is my chance to run. Hesitation is a waste of time.
Let us be careful.
You can do reserve. And Selena, I'm not going to change the name. I started playing on my birthday.
I feel faint.
Okay. I'm proficient with all martial weapons. Complete. Okay. Next level of Scald. I'm going to put one in Use Magic Device just to get the bonus. Wait. Oh yeah, because I'm adding a point and then I get the +3 because it's a class skill. Combat trick or weapon focus. Combat trick and cleave. And then heal light wounds. Next, stalled. I'm gonna just drag this over so I can see what it was. See if I want to change the build anywhere. You there. Okay. We've got extra rage power. Okay. Oh yeah, extra rage power, obviously. Fury gives me a bite attack, and then I think it was Beast. 2 claw attacks. Totem Lesser. Don't think it matters too much. Expeditious Retreat could be good, because I could have eventually get it as enduring. Yeah, let's take that, I think. Actually. Yeah, screw it. Expeditious Retreat. Next. Scald. Strength. Heroism, that's for sure. Sense Vitals. Oh, you have an amazing set of spells. Leaving Finish. Mirror Image could be good for me. I could get Rage. Or Cure Moderate Runes for afterwards in a fight. Yes, Cure Moderate Runes. Gold. Strength of Song. Skull can use Raging Song to inspire his allies to superhuman feats of strength. While the Skull uses this performance, allies within 50 feet who can hear the Skull may add half the Skull's level to all strength-based checks. And then more rage powers. Lethal stance I want. Yeah, lethal stance. Alert. 1 minute per level. I'm gonna have that instead. Mythic rank. Did instrument freedom. Close to the Abyss could be funny to have, but then go into Instrument of Freedom. Then go into... I wonder if I can do that. Because this gives me an extra attack. Use immunity to poisons. This would match well with me wanting to be with Arushale as well. The respec is because I wasn't really enjoying the alchemist build that I had. It felt like I was ignoring my main character and focusing more on all my allies. So I want something a bit more to do. What's Freedom's Child do? I kind of want to keep going with the Azata though. Problem is, this would work for me. Now I'm going to do Instrument of Freedom. And then... do Enduring Spells. Nice. Because I'm going to have Regal in the group, who already has Outflank. Though I think I'm also going to respec Regal as well, and use him more as a fighter rather than a Hell Knight, because I went through his Hell Knight stuff and I was like, he's missing an awful lot of combat feats that fighter gets. Combat reflexes would be good because of outflank and the fact that I can make them while flat-footed. Great cleave. Set combat reflexes, and then spells. Sure, I might as well take Feather Step. Why not? This is what I was interested in. Good Hope is so good. And haste is just obvious. Mythic rank. Turns the -1 into a +3 instead of +2. I kind of want greater enduring spells, although probably I already have level 3 mythic, so oh yeah, it's definitely overwhelming. Using a two-handed weapon, so this damage is actually going to be pretty good. Also, I'll finally have someone that might be decent with athletics. That's for a round. Remove curse could be good. Spare. Could just take delay poison communal as well, because with greater enduring spells that last for 24 hours. But also stuff like this eventually. And I'll take delay poison communal. Looking at more of the teamwork feats as well as I'm building. And an ally who also has this feat confirms a critical hit against an opponent that you also threaten. You can make an attack of opportunity against that opponent. Be good. Yeah, I'm going to work on getting more teamwork feats for people, because I'm going to respec others as well. Oh yeah, this increases natural armor bonus to AC. Okay. I think Dispel Magic would be good as well. The only problem is I have it on other people. Take Crush of Despair, because it dispels good hope. It's all creatures in a 30-foot cone, though. That's... I would need to not aggro anything to get this off. And my allies would need to not run in. But it's a spell as well, so it's not always going to... I don't have spell pen, so it's not always going to take effect. So I may as well take stuff that's going to buff me and leave the debuffs to the other characters. I'll take that. Right, I want greater enduring spells. So now any effect that I cast that's longer than 5 minutes but shorter than 24 hours, now less 24 hours. And I get Bless. I already have Unbreakable Heart. Yeah, why not? And last level up. They probably put another point in us, so in use magic device. Um, I think I'm going to take Cat's Grace. It's either that or Mirror Image. I'll take Mirror Image, actually. And I can get greater invisibility. I have 2 spell options. Any creature that strikes you with a melee attack deals normal damage, but it also takes 1d6 of points of fire damage plus 1 point per caster level, maximum 15. Creatures with reach weapons are not subject to this damage if they attack you. Yeah, okay, forget that then. Okay. Again, I should just get buffs on me. What's echolocation? Blind sight to 50 feet, and it can last 24 hours now. Taking that. Yeah, I'm taking freedom of movement, so that's going to last a while as well. Complete. and then I need to gear you up. I'm giving you a great axe. I'm pretty happy with the amount of damage that you're doing with that thing. Oh, good God. Plus 19. Oh, I've got power attack on, which is giving me plus 10. Okay. Urge of Doom. Oh, I get no uses of that anymore. Level 7th level, the skull becomes a master of many different types of law and can choose to take 10 on any knowledge skill check that he has ranks in. Oh, I have to activate it. Okay. Inspired Rage. I only have 5 uses? I wonder if that's because I haven't rested. Kind of like how this has no uses, so it's just the basic. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look. Where is the thing? Inspired Rage. Doesn't tell you how many it gets per day. Which I guess we'll have to find out. Yeah, Inspired Rage. Lethal Stance is on. There. So I'll swap you around. Leave. There we go. Need to sort out my armor. I can only wear medium armor. So I can wear this for now. It's light, actually. I do need charisma as well, because of my spellbook. I'm a spontaneous caster as well. My next mythics, I'm going to be taking Abundant Spellcaster. Yep, just fine. I just need her proper armor. Let's put this on for now. Dexterity and con. No, I need strength. Technically, I need strength and dexterity, which you have. You have decent enough attacks. You have dex. You have strength and con. I'll put my AC up a little bit, and also my damage. The fact that she does 23 to 39 damage a swing is stupid. But the funny thing is, I'm gonna use. I'm gonna quick. I need to rest anyway, but I'm gonna use this inspired rage. Then we check attacks, because I think she should have gotten extra attacks somewhere. Marshall. Yeah, she's now got a bite attack. She's technically also got claw attacks, but she doesn't benefit from that. Maybe Ivu is benefiting from it though. Ivu, Marshall. So he has bite attack, claw, wing, tail, bite. He has an extra bite attack. Good God, you attack a lot if you do a full attack. You have plus 19 to attack as well because of lethal stance. Lethal stance. I'm losing attack because of power attack, but now I'm doing 25 to 41 damage. Oh yeah, this is gonna be nice. I also can just turn this off because I have lingering performance. Oh, I also have to check this. Yeah, you have fast healing. You have fast healing 3 at the moment, I think. Sure where it is. Yeah. Doesn't say. I think this is going to go well. I do need to respec some other people and rest. I also wanted to check. I think it cancels all my choices of my alignment as well. All the choices I made in the story. Which is less than ideal. Now all the books are together at least. Skald adds half his class level on all knowledge and law skill checks. They're all different. Pipe Fox. Oh, okay. Ooh, Sovereign Dragon's just adding +1 to a bunch of stuff, which I did not realise. Do you add? Knowledge World, Knowledge Arcana, Law, and Law Religion. Okay. What's the check penalty? 1. So, 17 athletics. -1 athletics. +14. I do need to get medium armor for her. So I need to actually check who has decent medium armor. Or I'm going to go back to my stash and see what I saved. Because I won't be streaming for much longer because I'll have to go to work today, unfortunately. So I'm just going to go... So quick save. Again. I at least kept a save before I respect. But I think I'm going to have a bit more fun with this character. Also, the spells that I've got are pretty great. Especially that they're going to last so long. For example, just do Expeditious Retreat. Even if I wear heavier armor, don't think medium slows me down. Now I have 60 speed, which is lasting for 24 hours. Look at me go. Which is going to be amazing because I think at Mythic rank 4, you start getting other, superpowers. I know exactly what I'm taking, I'm fairly sure. I'm either going to be taking, actually it might change now, all skilled, which would give me a +4 to all skill checks, and whenever I make a skill check I roll twice and choose the best result. I also become proficient with everything. With all types of weapon and armor. Favourable magic becomes incredibly more powerful. When an enemy makes a saving throw against her spells, they roll the die twice and take the worst result. Whenever the Azata makes a concentration check or check to overcome spell resistance, she rolls twice and takes the best result. If the Azata casts a spell whose description says that a successful saving throw halves its damage or duration, it only decreases it by 25%, which is awesome. Incredible Might. Azata gains a morale bonus equal to her mythic rank on attack and damage rolls. Whenever she hits with a charge attack or confirms a critical hit, the target has to pass a fortitude saving throw with DC equal to 10 plus mythic rank plus strength modifier. Yeah, I do. But it might get even funnier. If the target fails the saving throw, one of the following effects happen. Stunned or prone, pushed away and stunned for as well. Crippled, so they take a penalty to AC. They become exhausted, or they're just outright killed. Which is a 5% chance after they fail this saving throw. Additionally, Azata can decide to lose these advantages to instead bolster the physical abilities of companions. They gain a bonus on all attack and damage rolls equal to +1 per 2 Azata mythic ranks. So that would be a +2 to everyone. Because it doesn't even say weapon damage rolls, it's just damage rolls. Azata chooses one teamwork feat during this and next mythic rank up. She shares the effects of all teamwork feats she has with allies within a 50-foot area. Azata's charisma inspires her allies so much that even when their hit points drop below 0, they continue to fight even though they are still considered dead or unconscious for all effects and can be cured by Breath of Life or similar spells as per description. After the encounter or upon receiving a total number of attacks equal to the Azata's charisma ability modifier shared among all allies, the allies in this state fall dead or unconscious. If all of the Azata's allies die that way, she becomes fully drained and dies. Some of these abilities are just so good. Marvelous Endurance, they have fast healing, increased by +5 per mythic rank. Whenever an enemy confirms a critical hit, she gets 1d6 temporary hit points per mythic rank. She has 25% or less hit points left. She gains DR. Okay, this is the fun one. Azata is always under the effect of haste spell as long as she is engaged in combat. All melee and ranged weapon attacks against her have a 20% miss chance. All targeted spells aimed at her have a 10% miss chance. All the damage from area attacks against her is halved, even if previously reduced by saving throw. Note, when characters have miss chance and concealment at the same time, then only the best bonus is applied. Under constant haste, and I think, well, while in combat, so I always get an extra attack as well as being super fast. So I forget the exact thing that haste gives. I don't know if it gives a bonus or just doubles your speed. But I can check that. Hasted creature's speed increases by 30 feet to a maximum of twice the subject's normal speed. This increase counts as an enhancement bonus. Multiple haste effects don't stack. Hasty spells slow. Oh, Expeditious Retreat. It's an enhancement bonus, so it doesn't stack with haste, because that would be hilarious. 120 movement. Okay,
I'm
let's
gone.
go in. There we go. God. Steel kind. Before you stands a tall, fit man whose dark hair is already tinged with grey. He greets you with a brisk military salute. My name is Captain Sealkind. I command the vanguard of a mercenary group called the Blackstone Company. We've come from Andorran to assist you. I want to know more about your unit. The Blackstone Company is one of is proud to be recognised as one of the finest Andorran mercenary regiments. We're not a bunch of unscrupulous sellswords looking to oppress the innocent and serve the tyrants of the world. No, we're adventurers eager to get involved in a dangerous enterprise and leave it with pockets full of gold and a clear conscience. Getting my phone because it's about to have an alarm to remind me to go to work. Which is why we held a vote among our units. We were glad to accept Queen Galfrey's invitation to join the crusade, though some of our commanders did voice their displeasure with the sum she offered. But like I said, we Andorrans are a free people who cannot be pushed around, who cannot be bought, only convinced. Why'd you join up with us? Queen Galfrey paid for our services, but please do not think we're fighting for gold alone. We are true sons and daughters of Andorran, so the ideals of equality and resisting enslavement ring true in our hearts. We will be glad to stand in the way of demons who seek to force mortal kind into bondage. The bulk of our company made camp in Nerosian, but the vanguard, consisting of our finest soldiers, if I may add, was put under your command. Okay, I want to know more about you, Captain Sealkind. The man flashes a genuine smile. I don't even know what to say. I am a soldier, a bit of an explorer, and just an all-round honest man. When you say that, I don't believe you. Just get rid of him. Get on with your duties. Yes, ma'am. Glad to be under your command. Captain Sealkind salutes you again, smiles, and adds in a softer voice. It will be an honour to serve with you, Commander. If you have any questions, let me know. If you need to talk, I'd be happy to lend an ear. Urushale. Iribeth said that we're under threat from demons with unusual abilities. I said that. Like that Nabasu that attacked your army at the Lost Chapel. They're very powerful and they're growing in number. You haven't found out where they're coming from, have you? Urushale looks around shyly and continues, lowering her voice as if entrusting you with a personal secret. I'm not sure, but I think I have a lead. I know where to find someone who can lead us to the source of their power. Who are you talking about? A hag by the name of Jerunika. She used to live here before the fall of Sarkoris, but when the demons invaded this world, she happily took their side. The old cannibal knows many secrets. You just have to make her talk. Does this Jerunika also have special powers? Her? I doubt it, but still, be careful. She's very old. She's a very old, very sly creature, and she's incredibly dangerous. Maybe we have some blueberry muffins. Where can I find this informer of yours? The place is called the Green Gate. I'll show you how to get there. Long ago, before the World Wound, there was a Sarkorian fortress there. Then Crusaders built a small chapel, but for many, many years the place has been home to nothing but abomination and squalor. How did you find out about this? Usually quickly looks at the faces of those present and seems to curl in on herself. Quietly, almost whispering, she says, That is a long story. I will tell you when we get there, all right? Thanks for the tip. Happy to help, it's just... Urushale looks around cautiously again and lowers her voice. You won't go there without me, will you? I want to personally make sure this monster doesn't escape you. gate. And, oh god, no. Grandma Gretlin, the director. Grandma Gretlin lowers herself into a bow. Good day, your commandership. It is we, the artistic board of the Next Door Theatre. We are still working on our piece for you about your heroism. We have even taken on a few new crew members. We now have a master of stage equipment and scenery. It's my granddaughter, Tina. Tina, say hello to her commandership. We are faced with another dilemma. We simply can't decide on a climactic moment for the act that's all about the Battle of Drezen. Here, you listen to the options. Grandma Gretland holds a scroll up before her eyes and begins to read, running a gnarled finger along each line. Option 1, the commander, so that's you, launches herself out of a catapult and smashes down the fortress wall, allowing the armies to rush inside. Option 2, the commander, so that's you again, masquerades as a Baylor and creeps into Drezen in disguise, and then opens the gates to the Crusaders. Option 3, the commander, so that's you again, rides to the attack on an enormous mountain goat, or should we call it a battering ram, and it breaks down the city gates. Well, what say you? Oh, we went through the front door. So, yeah, a battering ram. We're still working on that part, your commandership. It's hard to get a goat in the middle of the whirlwind, especially an enormous one, but we'll think of something, don't you worry. Grandma Gretlin and her entourage move away, but their voices project so well that you can easily hear the rest of the conversation. Do you think the commander will mind if we add the goat and the catapult to the show? That way the bit where she breaks down the gates will make for much better drama. Did you forget that the role of the commander is being played by a Cyclops? How are we going to launch Lambkin out of a catapult? Where are we going to find a catapult that won't just break under his weight? There's my alarm. Calm yourself, Tina. It's just a minor snag. You can't achieve success without a few difficulties along the way. We'll think of something, you'll see. Any more? No, okay. This is where I'm going to hard save. Actually, where's my room? It is this way. It's the quick. Armor, light armor. Yeah, I'm gonna call it here. And I'm going to respec some of my other characters that I want to. I want to redo Regal, and I think I want to redo Darren and maybe Camellia. I think I'm fine with those three. I think I'm fine with the rest of the characters I have. Two of them I'm not using anyway. Well, a few of them I'm not using. Not using Sealer, I'm not using Socio, and I'm not using Nenio. Though I will need to have them built up to be able to do any locations that they need to be at. So yeah, I'm going to call it here. I'll respec them before I next play Pathfinder, which will be on Tuesday, because tomorrow I'm playing Raft, and the same on Saturday. So Raft tomorrow and Saturday. Planet Zoo on Sunday and Monday for Pern's Redemption, and then back to this on Tuesday through to Thursday again. Hopefully I'll get to some fighting this time. I've done nothing but talk and run around during today's stream. So yeah, hopefully something more entertaining. So yeah, I'm going to find someone to raid. I'm going to raid Nemo. He's playing Hollow Knight. I've played it before. hated parts of it. I wonder if he's hating it. He's having a casual playthrough of Hollow Knight. Okay. So yeah, I'll send you over there. Hope to see you tomorrow for Raft. Goodbye.